Mary asks, how to pick the right mastermind group to join, never been in one. Well, there's different kinds of mastermind groups. And for those of you who, again, don't know, or maybe you came in late or you're watching the replay, mastermind groups are sort of formalized groups of people, typically much smaller, that allow for sort of a round table type situation, right? Like Knights of the Round Table. It's round because nobody's at the head of the table. We're all sort of in this together. That's sort of the feel of these mastermind groups. And they're typically made up between two. So yes, you can have a mastermind group with just one other person, 2 to 6 or maybe even 7 max, because when you get to more than that, well, then you don't each have the opportunity to, on a regular basis, get in what's called the hot seat. And this is very typical in mastermind groups, is to have a hot seat. So here's a typical structure of what a mastermind session might be like, with friends, colleagues, other people in the same space as you, and you can even have other people that aren't in the same space as you. I'll tell you a quick story about that in just a sec. But typically it works like this. If it's an hour-long call, and in most cases, all my mastermind groups, I have 2 that I've been with for 8 to 9 years, they all meet virtually, whether it's freeconferencecall.com and literally just on the phone, or online on GoToWebinar, or in a Zoom meeting. It doesn't really matter how you meet, but here's the structure of the call. The first 10 minutes, we each go around and share a win that we've previously had over the past week. And that's really great because it starts us off on a high note. It gets us all excited to encourage each other. And it also makes it so that, well, we want to make sure we bring something to the table every single time. So we start with a round of wins. Then we go about 40 minutes. A single person is in the hot seat. And in the hot seat, you might be in there and you could ask questions to the group. You could potentially have something coming up that you're really worried about, or have a lot of anxiety, or that you just want to present to get some eyes and ears on. And you do that for 40 minutes. And the whole group, their responsibility is to be there for support, to ask questions, to poke around, and to be, most of all, brutally honest with that person, knowing that, well, when it's their turn to get in the hot seat, other people are going to be brutally honest with them too. Because, like I said, you can't read the label when you're inside the bottle yourself, and that's what's so great about having these mastermind groups. Now, where might you find people to be in these mastermind groups? The best place to find people who could potentially be in a great mastermind group with you is, number one, in other groups that already exist that you are participating in. Essentially, it could be sort of like a niche in a niche, a group within a larger group that you could pull aside, you can vibe with those people, and then you get consistently going with them every single week on some of those platforms that I talked about. A great place that I usually find people that are in mastermind groups are in-person meetings or conferences, which of course is a little bit tough right now during the crisis that's happening, but there's a lot of meetings and gatherings that are happening online right now, which is really great. And then finally, you could even create your own mastermind group. Actually, one of the mastermind groups that I'm in, I was asked to be in, and then the other one I founded with a good friend of mine, Cliff Ravenscraft, and we've since grown that to 5 people, including Ray Edwards and Mark Mason and Michael Stelzner, Leslie Samuel, Cliff, and then myself. So 6 people in total, and it's just been fantastic. We each have had a role in all of our businesses, and I would highly recommend getting involved in a mastermind group.